Hi and welcome back, and we will be finishing off this cavern today. And remember, Joseph, if you want your dessert, you need to finish off all these plants. Lovely. So with the plants eaten by Joseph, we can now get his hand fixed. Because, yeah, that's how that works. Now what's interesting is that plant is poisonous. They established that in the story, but I think you can eat it as any member of the party, and it will still work, which I find amusing. I wouldn't it be grin if Fleece ate one of the plants and then the character instantly died? But then, of course, you could just revive her. Which, again, to get a bit metaphysical, when a character dies, a main character, why doesn't Joseph just cast a revive or something? I guess that would make death pointless. If you could just revive anyone who dies, that would make death more pointless than it is in the Dragon Ball Z universe. Along saying that, in the Dragon Ball Z universe, they established that you can die for good. If you're dead and you're a ghost, and that ghost gets killed, you're gone for good. Which very few franchises go for. No matter what the series, they tend to imply that there's an afterlife no matter what. I kind of like the idea in the Harry Potter universe, where that once you die, and if you're a wizard, you have the choice between fading into nothingness, essentially dying for good, or staying as a ghost forever. And most people actually choose to die permanently. Because, yeah, you might want to live for a short while at least, but, yeah, you don't... After the first 1,000 years, I think you would cry for the sweet embrace of oblivion. Anyway, that's quite a mature thing about the Harry Potter universe, the fact that it gives you a choice about if you even want an afterlife or not. And it's actually better if you don't have one. Yep, immortality is a curse. Well, speaking of the afterlife, I guess Joseph does, if you know about the sequel, does have sort of some strange afterlife after this. I say strange, it's sort of some ambiguous, you get absorbed by some force or whatever, that sort of thing. Anyway, we talked to this guy and he'll explain how the pool works. And he'll also give us a ring to help us on our quest. Again, very convenient to get all these multiple task items in the same place. For an obscure cavern, it's had a lot of people pass through it. Maybe you could have like a tour boat go across the river there. And if you look to the left, you will see the pool of Wolong, which will heal any broken hands. Look to the right, and you will see a couple of arch liches and a minotaur. Now, I was expecting a boss when I first played this cavern, because all these dungeons have had at least a boss in some form or another, but no, it's just we just take a bath. Here we have the ring, gives us a boost to heal and water resistance, or ice resistance, but yeah, I guess it's an okay ring. I'd rather stick with my rings of health, if I'm honest. Okay, everyone in the pool! Woo!
Cleanse your wounds in the waters of healing. Those are the Gatherer's words. We can turn back now if you want, Joseph, but this might be our only chance.
It's just a fucking pool. Okay.
I will do it.
I'll just put my hand in here and... Ah! Oh my god, it's acid! Who puts acid in a pool?
Cleanse your wounds in the waters of healing.
This is great.
Whole again.
I'm going to recommend this to all my friends. Now, fortunately, the game is quite merciful and shows a bit of clever design, and we don't actually have to go through the entire cavern. There is a handy shortcut. Now, there is a skeleton on the floor there, and I think that's supposed to be his dead body. Yeah, and he's a ghost. But anyway, back up here, we find a way out, but we also find a handy item. Yeah, so really this cavern is designed to be just a giant circle. Now I'm thinking about speedrunning again, and the thing is, if you could somehow glitch through that wall, you could complete this dungeon in like under 10 minutes. And we find a bow there, but yeah, honestly, being an archer in this game isn't that rewarding. I just gave one to Rosalind because it's essentially a ranged weapon. You know that, and you can't pull off like chain combos with a bow and arrow in this game. But again, I guess that's the sort of trade-off you get. If you use a bow, it doesn't. You can't get chain combos, but it does keep you away from enemies, sort of. Now, if you remember in the first part of the cavern, I pulled a switch that's hidden in a secret area, and I think this is the area that switch opens up. Now, granted, you don't have to do it for any side quests, but there is a cool item here I want you to get. Yeah, no, that was a problem with the sewers anyway, where it had a switch which opened a door, but it didn't tell you what door it opened. And again, these enemies can heal each other, but again, if someone's casting magic, if you attack them, that sort of stops them. So it might be a good idea to, you know, sort of position your party members to go after different enemies. Yeah, luckily these spellcasters, just in general, aren't too strong. Anyway, we get this rather nifty looking sword. Yeah, I suppose it's alright. You know, if I'm not going to use it, I can find a good place to sell it. So the Cavern of Wolong, it's a dungeon I was apprehensive about recording because it's fairly long and twisted, and you can get lost, but then again I guess that's what editing is for. But yeah, in hindsight it's, you know, it's rather interesting. You're handicapped by only having 3 members and no summons, but oh, speaking of which, we will be reuniting ourselves with Jakar very shortly. So with that, we can now summon, and we were about to get our dream team together. And we will be returning to this dungeon to complete 1 or 2 side quests. But honestly, after spending like an hour or 2 in this dark, dank pit, I was happy to get some fresh air, as it were. Yes, and this section I pointed out because that will be required for a side quest coming up. I do like how there's lanterns here, so I guess the monsters inside the cavern keep it going. Or I guess they can't anymore because I sort of slaughtered them all. Okay, summons. With the 4 dragon rings, we also get new summons. This is the blue imp. He's a fairly weak character, but he can cast ice spells and heal spells. So he does have his uses. Just going through his spells here, and he has like a specific blue imp sleep spell. Now on our back to Wolong here, you might think, do we have to sneak past those guards again? And in a sense, no, because we will actually be freeing the city. That's right, we get to take part in an epic battle. We talk to the members of the Jade Temple, and I know it's just a 2D image, but I do like the view from up here. The lake here, it's very viewish. Yeah, when it comes to the art style of this game, they did, when we got to this area, they did try and replicate a lot of Chinese and Far Eastern art. And it's appreciated, it looks quite distinctive from Medieval. Now this is a quite interesting part of the game here, because we get to fight with a whole army of allies here. And I'm trying to think, when will they rush into battle? They're like, yay, battle, could you just go first? Yeah, I'm right behind you. Are you really going to follow me into battle? Yeah, you go ahead, I'm right behind you. You know, go team. Are you guys sure you're coming? Oh yeah. Oh, sir, we will follow you. We just we're on our coffee break. And look at this. I killed 2 of them, and then they decide to charge. Honestly, it's so hard to get good help these days. But yeah, your allies here, they are fairly weak. But they are fairly useful as well. In fact, do want to keep them alive. Because all the enemies you sort of walk past here, on your way up, they're all here. So, again, you sort of need these guys in a sense. Because otherwise it's very hard to make your way past here. Yeah, in fact, I take a look back here thinking, aren't these other guys going to come as well? Oh, come on guys, you're letting down the side here. Yeah, excuse me, I'd like to talk to you about your men. Do you have a human resources department I can speak to? Because they just don't seem that motivated. Fine, I'll be the hero, I'll save the day all by myself again. Yeah, are you two coming? Yeah, good. But again, I guess those guards do need to stay where they are because they need to guard that the cavern there. That's a very important duty, that is. Witness an epic battle, obscured by the roof graphics. No, I haven't really talked about it here, but you do get your selection of katanas and wakashis and samurai swords. Honestly, I think because I did the side quests, I think I already have the better swords. Particularly the Sword of Logaros. 75 power and one-handed, thank you very much. So, yeah, I mean, you'd still pick them up, they are worth selling no matter what, but, yeah, these sort of samurai swords, they're okay-ish. Oh no, this selection of enemies, on my way up, I deliberately left these guys out because they were too difficult and there were too many of them, but fortunately, you know, with your gods in hand, and with backstab as well, you can easily take them out. And yeah, like I said, I do like this. It does feel like you're doing something positive. You're taking back the town. We're showing Murad a lesson or two. You know, Murad, who invaded Mediva, who locked Joseph away, who sort of helped trick him into losing his hand. Oh, don't worry, we'll see him soon enough. You know, something I guess I do like a bit more odd is that we don't see too much of him. He's sort of in the background pulling the strings. And again, when it comes to the imp, he's like Rosalind, except even weaker, so you really want to keep him away from battle. But saying that, I think his AI is automatically healer caster. And yes, when it comes to the summons, you can't really choose their AI, but because it is healer caster, he will stay in the background, cast spells, and then cast heal if you get into trouble. Anyway, thanks for watching. We'll continue this in the next part.